Hi, so it's time to look at past week's comic haul. I'm going to give a review of it. So it's not too big a stack, thank goodness. Hence, I got them yesterday, and I had a fantastic Saturday. Yeah, it's just WWE wrestling in the morning. I woke up really early at 6:15. God, so it gave me a chance to catch up on WWE SmackDown. And then I popped into Manchester, got my comics, came back, spent all yesterday just in comic heaven. So I had my comics YouTube on, watching Comic Pals, who I really recommend, and then watch Omnidog, who had Sean from the Comic Pals on again. Two of my favourite comic channels, just really positive, uplifting comic channels, no negativity about, no critiquing about woke agendas or people of different colours or women or LGBTQ, just positively embrace everybody, and that's how it should be without any fanfare. Just really good channels focusing on the love of comics. But I shouldn't be promoting them because they've got loads of followers. They should be promoting me. Follow me, follow me. um, yeah, I've lost the track. So as you notice, there's no things to, do you know, Mandy's a geek. I've stopped doing that. I'm going to think of something. I'm, I've got an idea what I'm going to do, and it's going to be completely shit and naff and crap. But I think that's part of my my image. So wait and see. That'll most likely be next week sometime. And I'm being American, drinking root beer. Woohoo! So let's have a look. One thing I will say: this week I've only picked up 3 DC comics, picked up 4 Image comics, 1 Titan comic, and wait for it, 4 Marvel comics. I think that's the most Marvel comics I've picked up in a week's haul. Why am I smiling? Because I don't hate Marvel. No matter what horrible gits like Geeky or Hug say. I'm not a DC shill. I love both comic companies equally. I always have done. From 70s to 80s, I always had like equal amounts Marvel, equal amounts DC. It's just that past decade or so, Marvel's been shit. But, and what's impressed me is they've done it without fanfare, without any big announcement. They're slowly but surely getting a lot of titles in now that have got talented teams, and they've got good artists who don't change from issue to issue. They've got good writers, and they've got good, fresh ideas. So I am loving Marvel again. So great. I'm pleased. I want to start giving Marvel Comics more than 5 out of 10. And I'm not talking about the licensed products like Star Wars, which normally have a high caliber of comics, but I just don't connect with Star Wars. That's why I've stopped. And I want to make room for some of these new Marvel titles. So there's some in here that are brand new, but one that I've been trumpeting the I've been saying is great anyway because it's by my favourite Marvel writer Benjamin Percy, and that's Red Hulk. And this is issue 5, so it's got written by Benjamin Percy and amazing art by Jeff Shaw. Just a really good balls to the wall action comic, focusing on this really great band of characters of Red Hulk, Thunderbolt Ross, Machine Man, and Deathlock fighting the Doombots. It's brilliant. Mixes action, throws in politics, but in a way that's fun and not beating you over the head. I actually like Thunderbolt Ross now. And like I said, the art is a delight. From Marvel Comic, this is what I want. This is I'm getting the same excitement I'm getting with what I used to get years ago with my Marvel Knights. And this is what I've been wanting from Marvel, just some solid storytelling. No superstars, just dependable writers and dependable artists, and that's what I'm going with this. And it's moving the story along. I don't read One World Under Doom, and I don't need to. This is great by itself. It's just a really good action comic, and yeah, I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. And then keep with the ones that I'm getting at the moment. We've got issue 5 of Amazing Spider-Man. That cover is amazing. I've got some alcohol. I'm not drunk any yet, but I feel like I'm drunk. Help. What I love about this is a thing I love with artists like Will Eisner, who used to do with the Spirit logo. I love it when the logo becomes part of the picture, when it gets damaged or drops or becomes like a building or stuff like that. So that is hitting my sweet spot for a fun comic cover. I'm just trying to see that my battery's not running or something like it was last week. So you got the regular theme of Joe Kelly, Pepe Larraz. Oh, the art is a delight in this. I mean, look at that splash page. Just wonderful. The sense of movement in this comic is just great. So this ties up the current storyline. It feels like it could have done with an extra issue. I must be honest. It feels like some of it's a bit rushed and shoehorned in, but I still had fun. It's still a satisfying conclusion. I think it was more enjoying the ride, the previous 4 issues ride of the story, but it ties up nicely. And I really like how Joe Kelly writes, in particular, Norman Osborn. I like how he still kept him as a valued friend of Peter Parker. Because I love that dynamic. I'm getting more fun out of Norman Osborn being a roguish friend than being this psychotic villain. So yeah, this is everything that I want from a Spider-Man comic. So 9 out of 10. And J.R. is coming on next issue for I think the next story arc, and then it goes back to Pepe Larraz. It's going to be a jump in art style, but if they ink him right, it'll be great. I'm cautious though because I do not like having Scott Hanna as his inker. I think he dilutes and washes over some of the intricacies what you get in J.R.'s right art style. I love his chunky style, and I think it dilutes it a bit too much. But we'll wait to see. I'm being cautiously optimistic with this series because I think Joe Kelly's got a really good voice and vision for Amazing Spider-Man. This one I love and I hate in equal measure. I love the writing, I love the art, I hate what Marvel's done with this. So they've charged $5.99 for this comic. They say it's a 40-page comic. It is a 40-page comic. And guess what? You get 20 pages of story, and a lot of those pages are full poster-like illustrations like this. The rest of the pages, you've got a big title page. And then you have this bit of useless bump, which carries on onto this page. And then glossary. And then that. And then that. And then that. So you get about 8 or 9 pages of useless fucking shit, and they charge us an extra dollar for a comic that should be $4.99 at the most. The art is absolutely gorgeous. Right, this is Jimmy Palmiotti, not Jimmy Palmiotti. This is Joe Quesada and Christopher Priest. Compare this. This is like as big a comeback as say Jim Lee and Jeff Loeb doing Hush Tour. This rings around Hush 2. It really does. Hush 2 feels like this weird alternate universe parody of Hush, and the art, Jim Lee's lost it. He's great when he does a cover because he can take his time on it, but he can't do a monthly comic anymore, even with all the time to give him. But this, oh my god, this is gorgeous. I'm sorry, I'm annoyed that I've had to pay an extra dollar. Fortunately, with my comic shop, I get a really good discount because I'm a loyal customer, so I don't pay that much for it. But even still, I'm pleased I picked it up, even though I was going 20 pages, $5.99. The art is great, and I love Christopher Priest, especially. He is my favourite writer for Black Panther back in the Marvel Knights days. Check out his collections if you haven't. It's a comic for grown-ups on superheroes. There's a reveal at the end. You have a lot of people know about it because it's become this big internet thing. Oh, how did it? They forget Christopher Priest is black, so it there's a reason for it. Why get upset? It's one page, the final page. I'll show you. Not a nice. I'll show you. Which reveals that Black Panther's son's white. There's a reason they put it there. It's one page. It makes you want to get the rest. People have been saying, "No, it's whitewashing. It's whitewashing." It's written by a black man who's been very. He helped create Milestone and other companies and things. Don't start spitting bullets before you've read the next issue. It's one page. and there's a reason he's put it there, because there'll be some reason for the next issue. I've got faith in Priest. I've got faith in Joe Quesada, and this is a really, really lovely, beautiful comic. Story and art, 9 out of 10. Price point, 0 out of 10. Rip off of a price, but a wonderful comic. Talking of wonderful comics, I like Jonathan Hickman. I never thought I'd say that. I was burnt on Jonathan Hickman by Gods, which initially I enjoyed, then I thought, what a fucking load of pretentious shite this is at the end. And it didn't end, it just finished on a squib. And I really did not like Wolverine, whatever. I just felt shite. And don't get me started on Ultimate Spider-Man. I hate the whole 1 month later in each issue. And it was pretentious. But this, he's having fun. But he's keeping his storytelling beats in it. And it's great. It's a great space murder mystery. I expect a version of Clouseau to appear, or somebody like that, or Sherlock Holmes. It's got an unusual cast of cosmic characters. I'm not sure whether I agree with having Wakanda. I wanted to see more more Guardians characters. I'm pleased that there's some Nova Corps in here, but I want to see like this Shi'ar Empire, more of the Shi'ar Empire, and people like that. I love Cosmic. I really love Marvel Cosmic. Thanos, Silver Surfer, people like that, but then again, they've got definitely Silver Surfer coming up. The art is by Federico Vincentini and Iban Coelho. It's good in places. The colouring's really nice by Federico Blay. But one thing that throws me out is the faces look a bit manga-ish. Not manga-ish, but like manhwa, a bit like the Korean webtoons. Were a bit squishy and a bit girly looking. So it kind of dilutes a bit of the seriousness of the situation. And the one gripe I've got about Jonathan Hickman's writing this, gotta have a gripe, is he writes Peter Quill's one of the main characters in there. Yeah, don't ask. Peter Quill is one of the main characters in this, Star-Lord. Basically, his sister's in critical condition, and he starts quipping and says, "This is how I cope with serious situations. I quip," and then he carries on doing it all the way through. It's like his sister's down, all these deaths are running around. He's going, "Hey, let's play a game," and he's just quipping, joking, and I'm thinking, tone deaf. That no, I've read a lot of Guardians. I love the Guardians. I love classic Guardians especially, and it just felt a bit off, bit naff. It went against character with the situation that's going on. His sisters could die. He would not be quipping. He would not be playing games, no matter how jovial his character is. When something like that's happened, it's been shown in plenty of other Guardians comics. When something intense has happened, Peter Quill mans up. He gets rid of his silly, childish ways, and he becomes a man of action. And so that's the only gripe I've got. Apart from that, the story is beat perfect. It's a great cosmic drama. Like I said, I'd love some more of the cosmic characters, but maybe they'll appear next issue. The art's good, not great. The art in this is great. The art in this is good. It's $6.99, but you get about 46 pages of story. There's a lot. There's no grass, thank God, but he, like I said, it's good. The art's good. I'm not going to deny it. It's just some of the faces put me off. But there's a lot of these chapter headings. So if you include the chapter headings, it'd be like a 60-odd page story. But it's about 46 pages of story, so that's okay for $6.99. And I'm very impressed. I'm loving it. I'm on board for all of it. So yeah, 9 out of 10. Who'd have thunk it? It's a Marvel comic, giving it a high score. 2 Marvel comics I'm loving. New Marvel comics. And I'm giving it a high score of 9 out of 10. And it's Jonathan Hickman. A miracle has happened. So now we'll move on to my humble little pile of DC comics. It's not that I've stopped buying DC comics. It's just that this week in particular, there's not many that I get on my pull list. I must get loads more next week. So first up is JSA number 8. And this is guest art by Gavin Goodry and writing by Jeff Lemire. So this is set in the Second World War period. And it's got some great cameos, Sergeant Rock and Unknown Soldier. Gavin Goodry's art is just chef's kiss. So it kind of like it's a bit like the Starman comic from the 90s where they did the main story, and there was like a issue briefer where they did like a story from the past. So this is what this is. It's a story from the past, which has an impact on the current storyline. So they're fighting the same criminals who the same villains who they're fighting in the current storyline. It's just wonderful, and it makes me wish that DC would resurrect All Star Squadron with Jeff Lemire and Gavin Goodry on the writing and storytelling on art duties, because I had a grin all through my face just when I thought this comic couldn't get any more perfect. They even got the Cthulhu monsters. Even when I thought this comic couldn't get any more perfect, it steps up the game again. This is the best team book out of any company. It's my favorite comic. So I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10 just for the sheer enjoyment I get from month after month with this comic. It started off where you felt like you were driving blind because you felt like you're in the middle of a story, but it slowly peeled it away like an onion. And oh yeah, I adore this comic. So yeah, 10 out of 10. My favorite comic of what I get. It's not pretentious. It's nothing special. It's just good. It's the kind of buzz I used to get when I used to read the New Teen Titans back in the 80s when it was Wolfman and Perez. It's that kind of chef's kiss, perfect interplay with all the characters. You feel invested with all the characters as well. Yeah, wonderful. And that cover, oh, I love it. It's not even the what do you call them? The alternate cover. This is the main cover, and it's just fantastic. So, move on to another positive one. Absolute Superman. So the big bad in this, it's not Lex Luthor, it's Ra's al Ghul, but he comes across a bit more like Vandal Savage because he's a big beast of a man with long hair and a beard. So very Vandal Savage kind of like vibes coming off him. He's very evil. He does a scene with an assassin who's out to kill him. He puts him in the Lazarus pit and it de-ages the assassin down to a baby, and he gets rid of the baby. You read the page and you're kind of like going, did they just... It's like, what if Michael Jackson had actually carried on dangling blanket, who calls the child blanket, over the thing, suddenly sneezed and forgot he's holding the baby, that kind of vibe. Oh. But yeah, oh, it's great. And the regular art team of Sandoval is back on, with colours by Ariola, and of course Jason Aaron on the writing. So it brings in the Kryptonite Bullet, plot device from the regular comics. Oh, I'm loving this. This is everything I want. I'm just having a blast with the Absolute line at the moment. So it develops more the story of this version's Jimmy Olsen and Lois Lane as well. There's a lot of plot developments in this issue. This is what I like about this. Compare this to the Ultimates. The Ultimates, great. All the comics are great from them, and you'll find I'll do a video later showing what graphic novels I've hauled this week, which you'll realise why. But I just hate the device of where you get invested in a story and then next month you're going, oh, what's happened because it's moved on a month. It's a stupid, stupid idea. If they did it carrying on story-wise, I'd be invested, but I'm not. This has me invested because it's moving on at a clip. And this is becoming my favourite Absolute comic. Even though I adore Wonder Woman, I adore Martian Manhunter, this just feels dependable. It gives me the same kind of satisfaction I get from JSA. So 9 out of 10, really strong. This is the weakest one in my opinion. It's got good points, which I'm willing to stick it out for a little bit. So this is Absolute Green Lantern number 3 by Al Ewing, and who's the art? Janoi Lindsay, who does arts and colours. Sometimes the art is really dynamic, but then, oh my god, so this is what I was saying about webtoons. Why the fuck does Hal Jordan, who's this here, look like a 15-year manga drawing by a 15-year-old? He's got the manga hair. He looks about 12. The art is ugly in a lot of panels, very, very ugly. This person can do really good monsters and like horrific scenes, but when it's just like talking heads, it's awful. It's really bad. It feels barren, the artwork. I just don't like the art. But I'm kind of liking the story, and I don't like the pace of it. It's very, very slow pace, but I'm getting a very Stephen King vibe from it. It feels like The Dome, where they're trapped and it's more about the story of the people and how they cope with this experience of being trapped in a village where they can't get out. So I'm going to give it a few more issues. I don't like reading a comic where I kind of like part of it and the rest of it leaves me annoyed and gritting my teeth going, oh, why can't it be better? So I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. I'm going to give it 2 more issues, see if it pulls itself up. So now we're on to the Image range of comics. First up is Hyde Street. I don't choose my covers. My comic shop, they just put in whatever's there, and quite often I get the variant cover. So I've got the variant cover on here, and I love that use of black. Wonderful. So I think this is by the artist who's doing the inside art, because it's not Ivan Rios this time. It is Francis Patella, who's got a very Jeff Darrow kind of vibe to his art style. And he's very similar to the artist from Ice Cream Man as well, which I've not read and I should. And I love his artwork. In some kind of ways, I kind of wish he was doing this comic, or like a Hyde Street adjacent comic once Ivan Rios comes back on. It's just got something to. I don't know, just something to it. This is the most horrific I'd say Hyde Street has been with this issue. It shows the ruthlessness of Hyde Street, and there's a lot of oh my god moments in this, but very satisfactory as well. And it deals with the delves into her story more and the Boy Scout character as well. And it's all you can see it's all gestating, going to be coming to a head soon. Oh, it's very, very, very satisfactory. Like I said, gorgeous artwork, great writing. Jeff Johns at the top of his game at the moment, so 9 out of 10. If you've not been buying this, get the collections. It's wonderful. Talking of one that I think some people are not picking up compared to the other Universal Monsters line is The Mummy, and I'm really enjoying this. I think Faith Erin Hicks' artwork really works for this story because it's meant to be daylight. It's meant to be in Egypt in the 1920s, I think it is, and it tells us the story of her where she's basically been taken over by this ancient entity of this woman